Now we're going to move on to a turpentine pack. Now for this you use pure gum spirits of turpentine, which is a derivative of white pine. Nothing at all like paint thinner, which is a petroleum distillate. So the pure gum spirits of turpentine, the turpentine pack was recommended by Cayce to treat kidney stones, to break them down, to treat kidney infections and bladder infections, and also as a preventive for to kidney or bladder infections or kidney stones. We use the most common dilution in the readings, in the Cayce readings, was half a teaspoon to a quart of water. There was a big variation. There were dilutions as low as a quarter of a teaspoon of turpentine to a quart of water. There were dilutions as high as a quarter of a cup of turpentine. So now what you would do if you were, say, working with a bladder condition, you would always start by treating the kidneys first. Now the kidneys are in the soft area between the hip bone and the bottom rib. So just along there you have a kidney on each side. So we're treating across that area with hot as the body can stand water, and the turpentine, as I say, we use the half teaspoon in the quart of water. And you would simply use a towel, so the hand-sized towel, and I'm going to go ahead and put the turpentine in. And again, as hot as your hands can stand water. You want it to be quite wet, but again, not dripping. So then I'm going to fold that like so, right in the kidney area, across there. Turpentine also is highly evaporative, so we need to use a plastic to keep the active properties present. And then after we have the plastic, we'll put a heating pad on. And I'm going to try to get that under in a more comfortable position there. There we go. And we'll keep that on, and that would be kept on for 20 minutes. If you were working with kidney stones, you could keep it on for as long as was comfortable, but really if you're working with a stone, it's best to reapply the pack. And Cayce would say to put if you have stones, and you can tell if you have stones and they begin to break down, you would get some discomfort or even pain. But the thing to do was to continue with the pack, because that is the way the turpentine spirits work with the kidney stones, is that they actually do begin to break them down. So they'll break them down to a certain extent. You reapply the pack. If you're working with stones, you could apply it as many times as you can during a day to continue breaking the stones down to smaller and smaller than they can easily pass. If you're working with a bladder condition, you would still start by doing the kidney pack first and have that on for 20 minutes. And then you would, using a fresh pack, because turpentine pack you can't even use again once. You can only use it the one time. But you would start with the kidney application, and then after that you would turn over, and then you would apply it across the abdomen, just over the pubic bone and all the way across the abdomen. That too would stay for 20 minutes. And then as preventive treatment, if you have chronic problems with either kidneys or bladder, you may decide you'd like to do a pack, one for the bladder, one for the kidneys, one for the bladder every month, or something like that, what felt correct for you. It is important to know that if you are working with stones, with kidney stones, and you want to try using this, you want to be sure to try to do that when you have a weekend off or something, because you may find you have to commit to the full day of treating the stones to have them pass painlessly, which from everyone who's had that happen found that far preferable to going to the emergency room and waiting for 5 or 6 hours in pain. So anyway, that's the turpentine pack. Now when you're finished with the turpentine pack on the kidneys, you would take off the heating pad. There's no need to rinse the area or anything after that, but what you would ideally want to do is just do a little quick drainage stroke over the kidneys, and so you would just gently start at the spine and just stroke out like that. And if you're doing the pack to yourself, most people can just sort of reach behind themselves and just do it that way.